Shiba Inu is getting down to business. It is possible that the next major price shift of the year was just disclosed when a gigantic whale dumped trillions of Shiba Inu into Coinbase. The public is going ballistic. Despite relative calm on the charts, there is complete mayhem going on behind the scenes. Could this be a breakthrough? Is Coinbase preparing for a monumental event? What does this imply for people who own Shiba Inus at the moment? Okay, I'll try to clarify. Everyone is talking about a recent important event in the Shiba Inu world. Much to the surprise of many in the cryptocurrency community, Coinbase Institutional has received 2.5 trillion Shiba Inu tokens, with a market value of around $31 million. A single transaction, that's correct. Massive changes like this don't happen very often. This market behavior is out of the ordinary. Plus, it's understandable why heads turn the moment something like this occurs. Shiba Inu, whales don't merely move about a lot. Then what is the true situation here? Is this the beginning of a greater endeavor? Does this have anything to do with the recently released Shibarium update? Is it related to the fact that one of the most important measures for Shiba Inus just reached a new peak? Is Bitcoin also an option? Because there is also some crazy stuff going on there. Shiba Inus are the unifying factor, believe it or not. Something more needs to be considered before we can attempt to understand the massive Shiba Inu relocation, since it may explain why the relocation occurred. Both PuppyNet and the Shibarium mainnet nodes have recently received a significant update from the Shiba Inu team. Node operators were sent a fairly clear message with the update. Please update immediately. It was an emergency, not a regular patch. A major problem that has been troubling mobile users for some time is finally fixed in this release. No one has ever succeeded in shipping a Shiba Inu via MetaMask unless you are you. Due to a functionality being absent from the Shibarium system, a bug was introduced that rendered transactions impossible. No longer an issue. Things are moving forward again. Another discomfort was also alleviated not long ago. There was some misunderstanding because the Shibarium site did not have mainnet snapshots. That has also been resolved. Ultimately, this indicates one thing. There has been substantial improvement in the network stability, usability, and readiness for heavy use. Fixing issues like these sends a message to both average consumers and the major players on the sidelines. So that enormous $31 million wire to Coinbase? I see now how things are coming together. But there's one more piece of information we can't overlook before we get to the actual motive behind that huge Coinbase transfer. It appears little, yet it's actually quite large. Something that should have been more widely seen was brought to light by a Twitter user. New all-time high was the post they made. There are now more Shibarium wallets than ever before, with 1.5 million holdings. They went on to say that the Shibarium is a breed whose popularity is only going to increase. I'm not exaggerating. It's a number that can be confirmed. It also indicates that the number of Shibarium owners is at an all-time high. More money in the bank, more faith, more curiosity. When you add it to the Shibarium update we discussed before, the network became much more stable, quick, and fluid, and suddenly everything falls into place. At long last, the network has achieved stability, and the community is expanding at a record rate. There's a lot of excitement because of that. Thus, the Shibarium was once again the center of attention. That is why folks take notice when there is a large transaction like the one to Coinbase. It makes them wonder whether something significant is about to transpire. We can now move on to discussing possible explanations for the current situation. This is what we can say with certainty. An anonymous wallet sent 2.5 trillion Shibarium to Coinbase Institutional, according to Whale Alert. That's more than $30 million transferred in a single transaction to a major platform in the game from an anonymous wallet. Well, naturally, people start to freak out whenever something major occurs. It's to be expected, really. When a whale brings that many Shibarium to an exchange, it's nearly certain that they're going to dump. The general public believes a sell-off is imminent. Future price collapse imminent. Prepare for mayhem. The internet simply responds in that way. Rapid, dramatic, and full of emotion. It's the same way every time. On this occasion, though, something was off with that narrative. More and more information emerged that made it apparent this wasn't a fast sale. No one was cashing out or acting in a panic. It was associated with Coinbase Institutional, a trading platform that regular people shouldn't use. This is reserved for serious gamers, funds, and persons with a high net worth. Because of that, the plot twists completely. One thing is usually meant by this kind of action. One of two things is happening. Either a huge investor or fund is getting ready to make a long-term play, or they are prepared to hold Shiba Inu securely. It may just include moving funds from an offline wallet to Coinbase's custody, where they will be safer. Totally unrelated to sales. Now things start to get intriguing. The question of whether Coinbase is gearing up for something significant with Shiba Inu arises when a whale makes this kind of move now and Coinbase Institutional is engaged. The public doesn't generally know what's going on when exchanges start doing things discreetly in the background. Consider a collaboration, a new feature release, or an integration. Here we are in the realm of pure supposition, but initially, everything is kept under wraps. And it is the reason why I am feeling so excited right now. Nothing here is trivial. Shiba Inu is experiencing a genuine phenomenon, and we may be on the cusp of witnessing its full manifestation. There may not seem to be much going on at the moment if you're observing the Shiba Inu pricing chart. The pricing hasn't done anything particularly noteworthy in the past day either. Seems serene. Allow me to explain. On the other side of that tranquility, there is undeniably motion. In the span of a single day, the value of Shiba Inu has increased by about 90%, reaching approximately $271 million. There is a rationale behind the appearance of that level of volume. Buying, selling, and positioning are happening. As a result, the market is heating up again, and people's focus has returned. And now for the catch. It's about more than just Shiba Inus. The wildest part is what's going on outside the Shiba Inu universe, and how it has the potential to alter everything. Reportedly, in early negotiations to integrate stablecoins are Apple, X, Airbnb, and Google. X was originally Twitter. Take a moment to absorb that. You won't find many businesses on this world smaller than these. Tech behemoths that influence nearly every facet of our lives are considering cryptocurrency as a payment option. I kid you not. This kind of action indicates that big tech is no longer merely interested. They have plans. They are getting ready. This would be a huge step toward crypto permeating all aspects of society. Even the slightest suggestion of this would have been considered insane even as recently as a few years ago. If it hadn't happened now, people would have laughed it off. For that reason, a lot of people still find it hard to believe. Everything is happening at once. The doors are opening. The volume of the Shiba Inu, the movements of the whale, and the updates to the Shibarium. Because of it, this feels like a monumental occasion. While the foregoing discussion does indicate a major development in the market, there is one factor that must be considered in order to foretell its ultimate fate: digital currency. No discussion of Shiba Inu or other cryptocurrency can avoid mentioning Bitcoin. It remains supreme. All markets react in lockstep with Bitcoin's price fluctuations. Whether we like it or not, it sets the tone. The current price of Bitcoin is approximately $100,000. Calmness prevails, with no erratic swings, crashes, or moonshots. That tranquility, nevertheless, is the kind that unsettles individuals. Everyone seemed to be on the edge of their seat, anticipating the next move. A prominent crypto analyst tweets this bombshell at the exact moment the market is starting to flare up again. By September or October of 2025, I predict that Bitcoin will be trading at a price range of $140,000. The surge from $100,000 will go down in history as a pivotal and unforgettable event. It would be truly legendary if that audacious forecast came true. Looking at the big picture, you can see that the network is running more smoothly thanks to the Shibarium modifications, the highest number of Shibarium owners ever recorded. Now that major tech is encircling stablecoins and crypto payments, and there was a huge $31 million Shibarium whale transaction into Coinbase Institutional, everything is falling into place. Nothing here is trivial. Those are indications. There is a change occurring. Perhaps a new phase is about to begin. This goes for the entire cryptocurrency market, not only Shibarium. If Bitcoin's recent gain holds and Shibarium continues to make steady progress behind the scenes, the next several months might lay the groundwork for an unprecedented event. Therefore, what is your view on the matter? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.